Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, September 17th. Less than a couple weeks till training camp gets underway. And we're still here talking Celtics. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. Excited for the show today. We've got a few different things to go through. ESPN did a power rankings of the next 3 years. So we'll talk about where they place the Celtics. Should they have been placed higher, lower, appropriately placed, and so on. Some positivity about Anfernee Simons, much needed for this show, according to the comments. And we'll go through your emails. We'll go around the NBA, talk about the latest on Jonathan Kuminga, talk about perhaps some new basketball being played elsewhere in the next couple of years. Then we'll do the rat list and get out of here. Should be a fun show. Stick around through all of it. We are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. Jack and I are always streaming on Spotify and Apple too. So if you want the audio stuff, it's there every time. But without further ado, the next 3 years got a lot less fun in mid-May, to say the very least.
Indeed. ESPN recently put out an article about a 3-year outlook for every team in the NBA, ranking every team's 3-year outlook. How good are they going to be in the next 3 seasons? The Celtics last year, on articles of this sort, were pretty okay. They're pretty good. 2 years ago, they were even better. This year, not so much. Obviously, Jason Tatum's hurt the whole year. They traded a bunch of people this summer, and now they have fallen all the way down to number 13 on the list. I'll read the rankings quickly here. We can go through them and discuss, but just to have the context of who's ahead of the Celtics. Number 1, Thunder. They were 1 the year before as well. Rockets are 2 this year. They were 7 last year. Knicks are 3. They were 3 last year. Cavs are 4. They were 13 last year. Clippers are 5. They were 20 last year. Warriors are 6. They were 9 last year. Magic are 7. They were also 7 last year. Lakers are 8. They were 21 last year. Nuggets are 9. They were 6 last year. Spurs are 10th. They were also 10 last year. Wolves are 11th. They were 8th last year. Hawks are 12th, jumping from 23rd. And the Celtics are now 13 and were second behind only the Thunder on last year's list.
It certainly makes sense to why they would have dropped so much. Bontemps is the one that wrote the little summary that was next to Boston in the list. And he basically runs down anything we would say. Like, Tatum gets hurt. They lose all those guys. They lose in the playoffs earlier than we all expected. Now they have this weird season ahead of them. But down the line, Stevens is still there. Mazzulla is still there. Tatum and Brown will be back next season. There should be a path forward for them to be competitive again. But we just don't really know yet. We don't know what that's going to look like. We don't know what players are going to be a part of the next great team alongside the stars. Like, do you think it can be for this roster for the most part next year? Do they need more firepower? Like, those are all questions that we're going to have to find out the answer to this season. And also next summer, we're going to have to find out, how are they going to be able to acquire players if they need them? Is there going to be money in free agency? Are there going to be players in free agency? Are they going to have the assets to trade for somebody, a la the way they did Porzingis or Drew Holiday, to really put them over the hump last time? These things are all mysteries. And listen, it's possible with the new CBA. Like, you saw how cheap teams got Porzingis and Holiday for, respectively, this year. Like, maybe Boston can benefit from that down the line. That's like one idea I've just kicked around in my head since we've seen it happen here. Like, Cleveland is a team that people are really pointing at. If they don't do well this year, if they underachieve this year, it may not be worth it for them to be above the second apron. Are you able to kind of get at the scraps there and make the most of it? Maybe, maybe not. But it's a little bit strange seeing the Celtics dip so low. But considering that 1/3 of the outlook is up in flames, essentially, I guess it's fair. But, like, maybe this is a biased take. Like, does Luka really shoot the Lakers up 13 spots? Like, they still don't seem like they have a ton of ways to get better.
No, Luka definitely shoots like top 13 spot. You're talking about the next 3 years power ranking, weighing, is LeBron James going to retire versus, oh, we have a top 5 player in the NBA now on our roster. I think that's pretty fair to jump them up from 21.
But you could say the same for the Celtics, no?
No. What? Well, Kind of, yeah, but the Celtics don't have a top 5 player on the roster for one of the 3 years.
Okay.
Plus, they don't have their depth. The Lakers went from potentially having their star power cut in half with also no depth to, okay, now we automatically have a top 5 player on the roster for the next 3 years for sure. I just think it makes sense to jump them up that high.
Yeah, I mean, I might be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong.
I think Luka definitely jumps them up pretty significantly. But yeah, I mean, the Celtics dropping that low makes sense. I think there's a chance they could be better. I just think there's a lot of question marks. Like, no one knows how it's going to look. No one knows what the center position is going to look like. No one knows how Peyton Pritchard and Derek White are going to look in elevated roles. No one knows how Jaylen Brown is going to be able to carry them this season. So you're basically getting a season full of questions and with no certainty, plus 2 seasons of what's Jason Tatum going to look like post-injury? How are they going to rebuild around him? How are they going to restock the center position? What players are going to be in town? What players aren't going to be in town? Are they going to keep ducking the tax? Are they going to pay the tax again? Like, there's just so many questions now involved in the direction the Celtics are going that you're dealing with a ton of uncertainty. So I think the ranking makes sense. Some of the rankings above them are a little weird. Let me list the rest of the rankings just to go. Heat are 14, Pacers 15, Mavs 16, Grizzlies 17, Pistons 18, Sixers 19, Raptors 20, Bucks 21, Blazers 22, Hornets 23, Jazz 24, Kings 25, Wizards 26, Nets 27, Bulls 28, Pelicans 29, Suns 30. I think included in all these are like draft assets and other things like that, obviously. But I think the Celtics are in a pretty fair spot. I don't know why the Clippers are as high as they are. Maybe this was written before the Kawhi Leonard situation. Yeah, there's a little blurb about that. I don't know why the Nuggets fell 3 spots. I guess because spots just, people just got better ahead of them. I think a couple of the teams ahead of the Nuggets aren't really rightfully so. Like, I think I would take the Nuggets 3 years over Knicks, Clippers, and Magic and Lakers. Like, I don't know why the Nuggets are so low. I think they got better this summer.
They had a great summer.
Yeah, I think
they might have won the offseason, Denver. They just got guy after guy after guy after guy to go play with Jokic. Like, they're going to be a powerhouse again.
Yeah, I don't know why they're that low. I don't know why the Celtics are below the Hawks. I would still take the Celtics 3-year window over the Hawks 3-year window. Everybody else above the Celtics, I can get to a degree. Maybe you could talk me in against, I don't know why the Spurs are there, like in the next 3 years, but I think the Celtics are in a pretty fair spot at 13.
I think the Celtics are ranked the highest of any team that doesn't have real expectations this year. And you could say the Spurs, but I think there is an expectation that the Spurs take a leap. Granted, the West is a deep conference. It's not going to be easy for them to just climb up the standings, right? Like, they're not all of a sudden going to be the 2nd seed. Who knows? Maybe they will be. But that's not the assumption. Like, we're talking about this. Houston got better. Denver got better. OKC is still a wagon. The Clippers might be good until they take Kawhi away. The Lakers have Luka and LeBron after a full summer of actually having time to make moves and put guys around them, as much as I don't really buy them, whatever. Minnesota is back once again. And there's probably 2 or 3 teams I'm not even thinking about. I guess Dallas, if you think like, even though Anthony Davis isn't healthy and Kyrie's not healthy, like, will they come back and eventually be decent this year? Who knows? There's a lot to be excited about out West. And this is going to be year 3 of Wemby. You have Dylan Harper picked 2nd overall. You have De'Aaron Fox coming back. You've added good depth over the summer. They might be a real pain in the ass, like, above average team this year. And it's only going to get better for them, you'd assume.
I think the Spurs will make the playoffs. I don't think the Spurs are bad. The roster is just weird.
Castle
I don't
coming
think
off Rookie of the Year too.
I just think it's a very weird roster. They don't really have shooting. Like, they don't really have a 3-point shooter.
But they might have. Good. Let's see what it says. So they have the 8th best roster in the league according to they have 5 different categories ranked. They have players ranked at 8, money ranked at 14, draft ranked at 11, market ranked at 16, and management ranked at 15. So these are all pretty average grades. But because a lot of their guys are young, like, maybe they will have more opportunities to make moves to optimize the roster.
I'm not saying they can't get 3-point shooting. but they don't have it right now is my point. And so I just they could get it and they could get there. I'm just saying I'd take the Celtics to win a championship in the next 3 years over the Spurs to win a championship in the next 3 years. But it's close because Wemby's Wemby.
It's probably
I
like
think
a
the
similar thing as like Luka. It's like, well, they have Wemby. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, to a degree. But Wemby hasn't made a playoff series.
He has not. Absolutely not. They were on pace to make it before he got blood clots last year, though. Like they were playing pretty well.
Anyways, I think Celtics are in a fine spot. I just think there's too many questions to put them any higher and too many answers to put them any lower. So I understand why ESPN ranked them where they did. It's going to be a very telling next 8 months or whatever you want to call it. Before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the best place to get real money sports action. This sports season, football season is upon us, and we've got games going on every single weekend and Thursdays and Mondays. Make sure to check it out. You just pick more or less on at least 2 or more player stats for your chance to win up to 2,000x your cash. Check it out. You can pick Drake May passing yards. You can pick touchdowns. You can pick rushing yards. Anything you'd like. You just pick the more or the less. Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single pregame show during the Celtics season. Again, picking more or less on player stats. PrizePicks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account, but it also puts its members first, which means all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right. Next thing is there's some Anfernee Simons optimism going around. This comes from a Reddit post. I know Corrales, I believe, wrote about Anfernee Simons recently as well. And so there's a little bit of a boost in the way people are talking about him. This is from Goatmont Waters on Reddit, who put the thread together. So shout out Tremont Waters, I guess. Discussing Simons' half seasons, his first half and second half. Jeremy Grant last season, 14 points per game and 3 assists on 37% field goal percentage in 32 minutes. Terrible. Jeremy Grant was bad. How Simons performed before and after Grant's injury and reduced role, because Grant got injured around Christmas and missed 30 games-ish and came back in a reduced role. To start the season, Anfernee Simons, 17 points on 40%, 32%, 91% splits. Not very good. Post-Grant injury, 21.3 points per game, 46%, 40%, 91 splits. Very good. 9 3-point attempts per game over the stretch. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think Anfernee Simons is a fine player. I did a whole TikTok on it when they made the signing. Anfernee Simons had much better, much more efficient stats when he was playing with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum in a slightly reduced role, and he still put up great numbers. I think he can mimic that playing next to Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Jaylen Brown. I just don't think he should start. I think you should start Peyton Pritchard because you know he's going to be part of your core, and you go from there. And I think Anfernee Simons is going to be a phenomenal 6-man for the Celtics this season, or he should be.
Yeah, the Celtics just might be like the team for 6-man of the year. Like, who's to say Anfernee Simons isn't a top candidate going into the season? Let me see if they have it. I'm going to look as I try and talk here. But Simons might be a betting favorite to win this award this year. After Peyton Pritchard won it last year, Malcolm Brogdon won it here 2 years ago. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. They do not have awards, at least on my app.
But MGM has Pritchard as the favorite to win it again, plus 350.
Really? I feel like that in Simons is not listed.
This is from September 10th. I don't see Simons listed, no.
Okay. If you can find odds for it somewhere, not you, listener, maybe bet it. Bet responsibly. But like this is like a good reminder that Anfernee Simons is not like a nothing guy making $27 million. There's a reason why he's getting paid what he's getting paid. It's just the things that he is great at, the value in his contract, the value in the NBA has shifted since he signed the extension. A player like Anfernee Simons is not worth what a player like Anfernee Simons was when he signed to stay in Portland. Go ahead.
ESPN Bet has Simons at plus 1,000, Pritchard at plus 2,200. BetMGM has Pritchard at plus 350. So there's some big discrepancies going on. For context.
People don't know. They don't know who's going to start. The fact that both of them are listed says There is no truth. I mean, I would guess Pritchard will be the starter. ESPN Bet is guessing that Pritchard will be the starter too. I think that's why he's ranked lower. And also voter fatigue is a thing. I don't think you're going to make yourself a 6-man of the year dynasty type of thing if you're Peyton Pritchard. I think if he starts, Simons deserves like a shout, especially if the Celtics are good. If the Celtics are good, people are going to be like, whoa. Like we talked about this with Jalen yesterday. They're going to be like, whoa, I can't believe the Celtics are good because nationwide, people are expecting them to be terrible or far worse than they have been. If they're to, we'll call it a straight up playoff team, like not having to go through the play. If they finish in the top 6, it's going to be impressive. People are going to be throwing around credit like crazy. Jalen will get a lot of it. If Anfernee Simons is a good season off the bench, he'll be getting a ton of buzz as a great 6-man. So I think that's a reasonable thing to think about. It is interesting how much his efficiency changed once the spacing opened up in Portland last year. Like without Jeremy Grant, he was able to just flourish and really be a straight bucket. And I've said it all summer. You've said it all summer. There's a strong possibility that the Red Sea just parts for him in Boston. There's too many other guys for defenses to key in on versus in Portland. Like it was mostly him. He was far and away like the top. Was it not? Like if you're thinking of guys, like if you're game planning for the Trailblazers, who do you have to stop like right away? I feel like he was the first name, even though they have a lot of quality younger players.
I'd be curious to see who had the ball in their hands the most. I don't know how much he played on and off the ball. I need to watch more games. I just know they had a very different season last year. He led them in scoring for sure, but Shaedon Sharpe was like right behind him. Denny Abdia was right behind him. I would just need to see who had the most touches. It was probably him, but
if not like
yeah,
the most important guy, like he was in the top 3 clearly.
Yeah.
And opposing teams were like, he is going to see the attention. That is just not going to be the case here. Maybe it will be at certain points of the game. Like if they're running an Anfernee Simons in the boys lineup, yes, he's going to see attention like that. But I don't think Missoula is going to put him in a position where he has to do everything himself. I feel like that's going to be a luxury he has playing here. And who knows? We've talked about his impending free agency coming next summer a lot. And maybe the comfort, the ability to fit in, the ability to have it easier here, and the ability to potentially win is something that really makes him want to stay. Because he could stay and he could sign a mid-level and it would probably be a good deal for the Celtics and we'd all be happy about it. But we have to sit and wait. And he might not be on the team past February. We really don't know yet.
Yeah, I think the whole first half of the season is just going to be the Celtics saying, is Anfernee Simons worth a mid-level or would we rather have a couple second-round picks? Like that's probably just going to be what they're weighing. Would we rather pay Anfernee Simons $15-ish million season or would we rather have a couple picks and keep that money open? Like, is there going to be a better guy we could use our non-taxpayer MLE or our taxpayer MLE on? Like, would we rather just do that or would we rather have Simons? And I mean, like, there's an argument for Simons, and again, like a lot of it will come down to how it looks on the court. Like, I think Anfernee Simons is a great 3-point shooter, and I think he could fit very well into the offense. But if you step back and say, okay, we already have 2, really good offensive guards, would we rather spend it on more of a 3-and-D wing type of guy or another guard? Like, how did Shireman look? Do we have depth at the wing position? How did Jordan Walsh look? Do we have a little bit of depth at the forward position? How did the center position look? Do we need to double down on that, or did Nemi perform well enough? Like, unfortunately for Simons, like it won't just come down to him either. It's what does this team need? Do we need to spend the money elsewhere? And if we think we do, let's capitalize on some Anfernee Simons trade value, especially if he's having a pretty good start to the season. So I do just think there's going to be a lot of different factors that pop up regarding do they keep Anfernee Simons or not? And again, he could be a perfect fit. He could be an incredible fit. And they just, let's keep him. It's perfect. He did lead the team in touches last year at 65.1. Denny Avdia was right there at 64.5. Scoot Henderson, 59.8. Shaedon Sharpe, 52.2. He was third on the team in front court touches, the most time per possession, the second most seconds per touch. Like he was up there in terms of offensive options. And you look at some of the guys that guarded him throughout the year, like it is pretty good defenders, right? Christian Brown for the Nuggets. Herb Jones guarded him a little bit when they played the Pelicans, right? But then you get like the Bradley Beal guarded him when the Suns guard him. But then you see Derek White and Keon Ellis. So like he was drawing some pretty good defensive matchups. It's just going to come down to whether or not the Celtics want to pay him in the summer, unfortunately. Like I think that's going to be a big bulk of the discussion. And I don't know what the answer is. It's just going to depend on how he plays.
I'm taking a look now, and there's no way to know exactly what people's value is going to be. But I'll just list the top free agents in terms of who's getting paid what right now, because that's how Spot Track organizes it. LeBron will be a free agent. Kevin Durant will be a free agent. Zach LaVine, Trae Young, James Harden, CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton.
Some of these guys have
Porzingis.
player options too.
Yes. LaVine, Young, Harden, player options. Porzingis, unrestricted. Hartenstein has a team option. Andrew Wiggins, player option. Tobias Harris, Van Vliet, player option. Draymond, player option. Simons, John Collins, Terry Rozier, Malcolm Brogdon, KCP, player option. Nikola Vucevic, Harrison Barnes, Norman Powell, Colin Sexton, Nurkic, Zach Collins, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Rui Hachimura, Lou Dort, who is on a team option, Kevin Huerter, Mitchell Robinson, Ricochet, who's on a rookie deal still, Wemby, Reeves. There's a lot of guys, but like, how many of these guys would you rather have, or realistically even think will hit the market instead of Simons? Like, where else do you think you would spend that money is really the question.
It's less about are any of them better than Simons and more about what do you need, right? Like if
that's
sucks,
a better fit
right?
is what I'm asking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if Nimish Keita ends up not panning out, it's probably better interest to split up the $14 million you would spend into smaller salary chunks and signing a platoon center who can help give you minutes and then also signing a wing or a forward or like. I just don't think it's as black and white as, if Simons is the best player available, spend all the money on Simons, right? You need to build out a roster now. You traded 4 pieces of your last championship roster. And if these young pieces that you're testing out this year don't work, you're going to need to spend some money and figure out how to add other guys. And a part of that could be trading Simons at the deadline for 2 contracts that are on the books past next season, or team options, or extending that salary. So you have trade pieces and you can trade a pick, right? Because that's also the issue of an expiring contract is you don't trade Simons now and you don't sign him this summer, you lose him for nothing. Or the piece we're not considering, what if Simons just chooses to sign elsewhere? Like we're acting in the world of, the Celtics, it's just up to them completely. Do they sign him or not? You could get to the summer and Simons says, yeah, I kind of just want a bigger role somewhere else. See ya. And he just leaves. Like that's that. So there's just a lot of risks you run into. And I'm not saying the Celtics need to trade Simons or should trade Simons. Like he could be a perfect fit. He could love being in Boston, and it could all work out. It could all be sunshine, rainbows. Bring him back, 4-year contract, perfect fit, great job, helps him win a title, awesome. But there's just a lot of stuff to consider moving in to next season, and the Celtics will have to make some tough decisions on who they want to sign, what positions they need the most, and if they want to bring other guys on board instead of Simons. And if that's the case, and I think that could be the case, then you've got some tough decisions to make. But let's go to the emails. Reminders, all you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. I believe we have one email today, and it is from Philip. Philip says, out of the frying pan and into the fire. Fellas, thank you both for keeping us entertained during the dull days of the offseason. I appreciate you guys the most in these days. After the finals between the 2 leagues' fastest team, I wrote in to ask you if you agreed on the NBA is probably moving to a faster style. I also asked if you thought the Celtics should go in that direction. Shaq's response was that it really depended on personnel. Well, I do think it's a trend. I appreciated your answer a lot because several of the team's players were on the slow side in terms of movement, speed, or decision-making. It didn't make a lot of sense for that group of guys to push the pace. I feel Al and Drew were slowing down, and JT is clearly a methodical, not reflexive player. KP wasn't slow, but he wasn't fast-paced either. I had hoped more of last season's players would have come back this season and we could have seen the Celtics fight the tide of higher pace play in the league. But now, poof, that team is, as we knew it, is gone. The team that remains has been acquiring younger players with higher pace offense and faster motors. At the same time, several guys who are poised to step up like JB, PP, and White are also faster in pace. Inevitably, the team is going to take on a new look and will probably be about pace and effort. It's going to be rough for a while, but if it starts to hum along, I worry the team will potentially be faced with a huge problem when JT returns. I just don't see it going well for JT to start playing faster. I know he can. He's an amazing talent, but how will it go when he has to start slow for his Achilles and it looks not great? Won't he want the rhythm of a slower style to get them back on track? Will he blame the faster system if he has some really bad games? I feel like it is human nature when frustrated to blame something, or it's human nature when frustrated to blame something outside of yourself. What if JB looks like the number 1 while JT looks rough? I know all that sounds overly dramatic, but can you not imagine the tug of war and old and the new? It's a problem for like half the business in the world. I don't see why it wouldn't be a concern if the team shifts away from the style of offense where JT thrives to a faster one where JB thrives. Are they both really that selfless to just do whatever, or do you see them the team possibly going into the from the frying pan while JT is out to the fire when he returns? Could that spell the end of the Jays era? All the best, Philip. I think it'll be okay. The way I see it is, like, yes, I think they should and will play a lot faster this year with JB, but I also think when JT does come back, they will just go back to playing slower. And if JB or Pritchard or Derek White sees an opportunity to push the pace and get out in transition, they will, and JT will follow. And if the other team scores a bucket or they want to slow it down in possession, they will. I just think they can play it on a possession by possession basis, I should say.
Yeah, I think this is a big Missoula question too. It's like we've seen Missoula make things work with slow pace. Like he built a system that works for the roster he had. He's got a different roster this year, something Jack has said a lot this summer. He's going to have to do a different kind of coaching style. He's going to have a different game plan with this roster, right? Like that's part of what his job is. And there's a world where you can probably do both things. You can have lineups that are designed to play at a faster pace. You can have lineups that are best suited to play at a slow pace, to slow the tempo down at the end of games, really pick teams apart methodically, as Tatum does. And I think that is the beauty of having two superstars that can play the different style. And if you play them together, I'm sure there's something that works too. I'm not really super into the X's and O's, unfortunately. Like I know a little bit, but I'm sure I'll be paying a lot of attention to what they're doing, what's different, what feels different. I'm sure the first preseason game is going to be like a jarring, oh, this is something new that we're seeing from them. Like I remember the championship season, they came out in the first preseason game and like, I was like, man, every shot's a three. Like I couldn't believe how frequently the threes were happening. And it wasn't like this is good or this is bad. It was like, wow, this is just different. And I'm sure there's going to be, whoa, like they're going really fast. Like they're beating teams down the floor, or maybe you won't notice a change at all. But it's on Missoula to figure out how he can maximize this group of players. That's what made Brad Stevens a great coach. Every single season that Brad was a coach up until 2019, it felt like the team probably overachieved. 2015, they were still supposed to be bad. They sneak into the playoffs. 2016, they are a top 5 seed in the East. They make the conference finals the next 2 seasons with teams that probably didn't belong there. Like that was what made Brad special, is he was like the guy. He was the superstar. It was like, he was like, all right, we have Isaiah Thomas. We're going to make it work. Even is he 4-on-5 on defense sometimes? Sure. But he is an offensive superstar and he's a top 5 MVP candidate that season because of how they were able to utilize him. So it's on the coach for that matter.
Yeah, I think it's just going to depend on what works, what doesn't. And then, like you mentioned at the start, like I think Tatum is good enough to just adapt and figure it out. So we'll see. All right, NBA section. We have more Jonathan Kuminga stuff because, of course, we do. Sam Amick of The Athletic put out that there are 2 teams in the Kuminga sweepstakes that it feels like he could go to, and we kind of knew them already.
2 great teams.
Yeah, the Warriors changed their current stance on sign and trade deals, deciding to get something in return for him now, rather than risk losing him for nothing later. Kings and Suns remain the 2 suitors in play, though league and team sources say a deal with either team is highly unlikely unless something significant changes regarding their respective offers. Team sources say the Kings are under the impression that Kuminga does in fact want to play for them. The Warriors shut down talks with both teams earlier in the summer, but could always pick them up at the 11th hour. So it sounds like the Suns and the Kings are the 2 teams calling, and the Warriors are just saying, no, thank you.
This is just such a strange back and forth with the, like, I understand Kuminga wants to get paid, but also wants to be able to thrive in the NBA. And he doesn't feel like that's going to happen in Golden State. And if you're the Warriors, like you have no reason to want to really lean into him. You still have great players in Steph, Jimmy Butler, Draymond. You're going to have Horford on the roster this year too. Like, sure, you're not going to run things through Draymond and Al Horford, at least asking him to do all the scoring, but they're going to be more vital pieces to what the team's doing than Kuminga is. That's just a fact of the matter. Kuminga is like one of those guys who's truly best suited to go on like a bad team, get his numbers, and maybe develop into a more winning player as the years go on. Like, he's still only 22. There are guys that got drafted this year that are older than him, and yet he's played 25 minutes a year in the NBA roughly and averages 15-ish points a game. Like, he gets his time. He does okay, but it doesn't seem like he's ready to commit to the role that the Warriors need him to play. And that's a problem. I was also like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was watching Kuminga tape, but I was like seeing clips of him play basketball. And I was like, he has a little bit of young Jalen in him. Like, just the way he goes to the basket, his like, this is like before Jalen was like doing Jalen things that he does now, like when he was more of a role player, catch and shoot threes occasionally, athletic freak. Like, maybe he can be good someday, but we don't know yet. Who knows if he wants to be good someday?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's just a mess. I think Jonathan Kuminga wants to play a more prominent role on a team. The Warriors want him to play a very specific role right now, next to Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, etc. Except the Warriors hold all the contract cards at the moment. Jonathan Kuminga can't do anything but sign the qualifying offer or accept whatever deal the Warriors put in front of him. It's just like there's no leverage for him really right now. It's just a mess, and we'll find out in the next 3 weeks or so and go from there. But I mean, the situation has been going on for months now, so it's just who blinks first, and no one really wants to blink.
Both of their eyes are absolutely dry as fuck because they have not hydrated the blink.
Last NBA thing, the NBA is starting NBA Europe. So, 2 teams debuting in London and Manchester as soon as 2027. Adam Silver said 2027 is ambitious, but then says 28 is probably the latest. Early plans call for the new league to have 16 teams. That number could change. Existing European clubs like Real Madrid, Fenerbahce, Istanbul, and Barcelona are likely to figure into the NBA's plans for the new leagues, along with other top soccer brands like Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain, which is PSG. Cool. I think a very fun thing that the NBA is doing, giving more people chances to play professional basketball. I think it'll be a good thing for European basketball and for US eyes to go over, there and see what those leagues can do. I'm curious to see if they're going to play by NBA rules or Euro League rules or what that's going to look like. But very cool thing that's happening.
I mean, I'm all for this. I think I'm curious to see how they use it, because if it's going to be NBA run, I wouldn't say it's going to be like the G League, because it won't be. I don't think teams are going to use that to like develop their young talent. But at the same time, how do these teams get players? Are they farming local talent only? Are they taking the guys who aren't necessarily good enough to play in like
what do you mean
top level? Well, like, okay, you're putting 2 brand new professional basketball clubs in England, in London and Manchester, right?
Yeah.
So where are those teams getting players from? Where does their roster come from?
Anywhere they can recruit players from. What do you like? If I'm a professional basketball player and I want NBA teams to have their eyes on me, I am going to try to play in the league that's partially run by the NBA and that is going to be promoted by the NBA and that NBA people are going to be paying attention to. So that will factor into my decision. Okay, yes. Do I want to go play in the NBL? Do I want to go play in the Euro League? Do I want to play in the Turkish League or China? Or do I want to play, in the G League? Like, if I want to play a prominent role and have NBA eyes on me, that's certainly going to be a solid, option, especially if the pay is fine. So I don't think it's going to be, let's just grab a bunch of guys off the streets of London. Like, I think it'll be,
that's not what I'm saying.
Like, I'm just tring to think of random players like Kenny Lofton. Maybe he wants to play there instead of China. Like, fucking Shane Larkin, Tyler Dorsey, some of these guys who just balled out in the Eurobasket tournament. Like, I think they'll just be fringe NBA guys trying to either A, make their way back, or B, like in the twilight of their career, like Kemba signed with Monaco a few years ago, or Serge Ibaka was on, I forget what team, like Monaco or Bayern Munich or something. Like, I just think it'll be the similar look to the EuroLeague with guys who are on the fringe of NBA, but not really good enough, trying to maybe work their way back, or just, playing out their career because they know they're not good enough so they can play a bigger role overseas.
Okay. Because, like, my curiosity there is, it's not skepticism. It's just literal, like, I'm like, okay, so does this league being created cannibalize the G League a little bit? Like, are there going to be guys who are like G League players now that would prefer to play overseas rather than like playing up in Maine? Like, not the guys the Celtics draft, but like, let's say like a Ron Harper Jr., right? Like, would he rather play for the Maine Celtics or would he rather go play in Europe?
Well,
like,
it depends.
4 teams that are part of the NBA now, not the Euro League, which it is now.
Well,
it depends, like where this is coming from.
Yeah,
for me.
but the Europe NBA, like, it's not like it's Celtics Europe. Like, if you want to stay within the Celtics organization, you believe you have a chance to play with the Celtics and, build up that pipeline, then you play for the Celtics G League team or the team that is directly connected to the team you feel like you have a chance in. And if you don't think you have that chance, or you don't have a direct connection, or you just want to put your skills on display for a wider variety or broader scope of teams, then maybe you go play overseas. But there's also the fact of like, could it cannibalize the G League? Maybe a little, but like, there's also millions of professional basketball players. Like,
it is a good thing.
Like a ridiculous pool of players that will ultimately fill this voids. Like, it's not like you're going to run out of players and the G League is going to be, pick up men's league slop. Like, yeah, like I think they'll be able to find plenty of professional basketball players able to fill the void.
So, like, another thought I've had is like, all right, so are players that play for these teams draft eligible? Like, because they will probably not have a draft. Like, they'll be signing local talent or young, like, European prodigies. Like, we've seen Luka play at Real Madrid. Ugo came from Real Madrid. We've seen other players come up through the year, like Jokic played
I think it'll just depend.
Like, Mega Basket.
I think they could have draft eligible people. Like, there were draft eligible people who played, like you said, Ugo played for Real Madrid. Like, if they are young enough and haven't gone through the draft process, then they will be draft eligible when everybody else is draft eligible at like 19 or whatever the rule is. But if they've already gone through the draft process, then they won't be. So I don't see any reason why not.
I'm excited to see how this plays out. Like
there's G League players who are draft eligible. Like, people have gone through the G League and like chosen
that may not be a thing anymore.
Instead,
I think they got rid of it. But you're right.
They got rid of the G League Ignite, but people can still play like the G League Capitans or something. I think that does exist.
I did not know that.
I think you can just go into the G League.
I just think this is going to be like really fun to see play out. Like, I'm not skeptical of this. I'm excited about it. That's where my questions are coming from. Like, like, I wonder, like, how are they going to get young players? Are you going to see like more of like academy type stuff coming from Europe, where like kids are like, the way soccer works over there, kids are just playing for the club since they're like 6. Like, will they have that sort of pipeline? Like, will it be development that way? Like, are we going to see European talented people like start to surpass the Americans? Like, how many MVPs straight have we seen that are international guys? It's been crazy. So this is good. I'm curious to see, like, does it actually weave into the NBA? Are there going to be like some sort of preseason circuits where, like, I'm sure they're going to send clubs over there to play, and like it'll be showcase type stuff. It'll be good for the game. Like, I'm all for this. I cannot wait to see like what the next steps are. Are they eventually planning on making that like a division, like a conference in the league? Like, they could.
Of the NBA?
Who knows what they could. I mean, those clubs have money.
I guess, yeah, but then you run it like I don't think
time difference would be brutal.
Yeah, you would just run into impossible scheduling. Like, I just don't think that would be realistic.
And I think like the most intriguing part of this is, where will this league rank talent wise? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it going to be the best non-NBA league? Is it going to be worse than the Australian league? Like,
I mean, you're going to have
more premier than this. Like,
you're probably going to have some cross play too. Like, I don't know how it'll work, but I don't think Barcelona will not play in the EuroLeague anymore. They'll probably do both. Like, I assume like Barcelona currently plays in the EuroLeague and the Spanish league. Teams will probably play in the NBA league and something else.
Are difficult for me.
Well, it's like the Premier League. They play in the Champions League, and
I see. So they have to qualify for EuroLeague is basically what it is.
I don't know. I don't know that. I just know they play in multiple leagues, because you look at any stats, it splits up into their EuroLeague stats and their other league stats. And so they play in the league in their country. So they'll play in the Spanish league or the German league or the Latvian league or the Lithuanian league. And then they'll also have stats from the EuroLeague, which I don't know how the qualifications for EuroLeague work or whatever it is, but I just know that it's not just like they only play in one single league. Like, the EuroLeague is like made up of teams from a bunch of different leagues across Europe.
Yeah, there was not much more information on this in the ESPN article. I had seen tweets about the teams yesterday, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like I forgot to put this on the sheet, so I put it on there last minute." But there wasn't a lot of like concrete, like this is what it's going to look like, this is how it'll work. So I guess we get to speculate for now. I'm certainly excited, curious if we're going to see like NBA, like American expansion too, in the next couple seasons. It feels like it's needed.
Currently, 12 out of the 18 EuroLeague places are held by licensed clubs that have long-term licenses with EuroLeague basketball and are members of the shareholders' executive boards. The remaining 6 EuroLeague places are held by associated clubs that have annual licenses, et cetera, et cetera. From the 21 season, however, if better, the 2 teams from the Euro Cup makes the playoffs, it keeps it for the following year. There's like a Euro Cup competition to get in, et cetera. Like, there's just a lot of different, like, you have to ways to get into it, but like the top reason, it's like, remember they were trying to make the Super League for soccer where it's like you have to pay, and
Yeah,
just
and
the
people
top
were
paying
heated.
clubs. It's kind of like that. Like the Turkish club Efes has one, Asfel, Baskonia in Spain, Barcelona, Fenerbahce, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Olympia Milano, Bayern Munich, Olympiacos, Panathinaikos, Zalgiris, and Real Madrid. Like all the biggest EuroLeague clubs all have an auto pass into the, or European clubs have a pass into EuroLeague, and then there's like 6 other slots that you compete. I think they compete for, and they go from there. But yeah, it goes into the Euro Cup competition, which is EuroLeague's basketball secondary level tournament. So there's just like levels to EuroLeague basketball, etc. But anyways, I don't know how the NBA league is going to work. I don't know how, teams are going to have the option. I don't know if they're going to have to pick one or the other. I don't know how they're going to build their rosters, but it's an interesting concept that will create
What if
more
there's
professional
just
basketball
basketball on
jobs
all day?
at a very high level. Yeah, it would be very fun.
Like
But okay,
just weekday, like 3 p.m. tip off into the
that's what
Eastern
we
tip
yesterday.
offs.
That's what the Champions League is giving us right now. I was watching soccer yesterday. It's great.
It is good. Like that's one of the most fun. I don't get to do it as much anymore, just because on the weekend mornings I'm always like doing something. But that when I was really really into soccer, like that was my favorite thing. It'd just be like afternoon meaningful play, like meaningful game Wednesday, Tuesday afternoon. It's fire.
Yeah, this game's on today. It's gonna be fun. All right, Rattless, what do you got?
Rattless, I watched this weeks ago and I just forgot to talk about it. At least I think I did. I didn't talk about the documentary on Netflix about like the texting harassment. Did I?
No.
Have you
You've not.
seen this?
No, I've heard about it extensively.
You've heard about it extensively from who?
Michaela, and then some of my friends at family dinner watched it. So I
Okay.
was listening to the conversations and
So
discussions.
you're aware of like
I'm aware.
what has happened.
I'm aware.
Okay, so spoiler alert, if you're going to watch it, I'm going to
What's it
talk
called?
about
It's called Unknown Number, right?
Unknown Number.
So if you would like to watch Unknown Number, you have not seen it, tune out.
Skip
We're
a
going to
little
talk
bit.
about Unknown Number. Yeah, skip like 5 minutes.
So this is the documentary is about like these kids in Michigan. They're in high school and they're a couple, and somebody they assume is in their class at school is texting them from an unknown number, like trying
Bullying
to
them.
like bully them, drive a wedge between them, like pretty vile shit, weird teen text talk, like weird sexual shit, and like just straight up harassment. Like, and it goes on for like over a year. There's like an initial point, and then there is like another year goes by, and then there's like just months and months and months and months. Every day the kids are getting harassed, and like it is taking a significant toll on like their mental health, right? And so during the documentary, they have all the different parties involved, like speaking to the camera as like a normal documentary would. It's like the kids are talking about their perspective. The parents on both sides are talking about their perspective. The principal, the investigators, the FBI who is involved, the agent is in it. Like all of these different players are in there. And then you get to the part where they reveal who the person that is behind all this was. And it's the girl's mom who's in the documentary. And she's in it like through up until the point it's her. So she's just talking as if she's Tim Robinson in the hot dog costume. Like we were all trying to find the guy who was doing this. And it was her sending like thousands and thousands of text messages harassing her daughter and her daughter's teenage boyfriend daily, like 8 hours a day, just texting them, like lied about having a job, lied to the husband. Like it was crazy. how do you agree to be in this? Like that was my number one thing.
She's sick. She's ill.
Clearly,
if she has, so like I think she has like Munchausen's where she like really wants to make her daughter feel better, like she wants to feel useful, she wants to like be like main character syndrome. Of course you're gonna say yes to being in a documentary. You don't care what you look like. You want to be like, it's all about you. Like that's just kind of like the selfish illness I feel like she has.
I do this thing where I love to like be on Netflix or like HBO, whatever app, like streaming app it is, and like scroll and like just look at like the trailers of things. Like I never, especially when I'm with my girlfriend, we never actually watch anything. It's just me like, I don't know, maybe this is good. And I'm just looking at all the things. And so this at the point was in the coming soon and we're watching it. And she's like, this was definitely the mom. And I took that with me when I watched it. And then like all the parents were in it. So I was like, well, there's no way it was the mom because she wouldn't be in this. And then when I was like, there's just no way. So I was like, I wonder who it was. And then it's like the video, they have the body cam footage of when the investigators pull up on them, or I guess not them, on the mother. And they're like, we need to talk to you. And it's just, they just show up to the house. And
did she get like punished, like arrested or anything? Or?
Yeah, she went to jail. Like she went to jail. She got out last year, and then they must have filmed her interview segments for this after the fact.
How long was she in prison for?
Year and a half, 2 years, I think it said.
Does she still, like, I assume she doesn't live with her daughter still.
I think there's like a restraining order. But the wildest part about this is
Smart.
The daughter clearly has 2 different interview dates. Like she's interviewed wearing like she's in a room like in one outfit, and then later she's clearly in a different place wearing like she looks older, like wearing a different outfit. And the first interview, she's like, I like still kind of want to have a relationship with my mom, and it's like, whoa, this is so weird. Like that. I mean, I guess like you're not in their shoes, so you don't really know what it would be like to have like a parent do that to you. Like,
it's tough.
How your reaction would be. But you can tell, like, later on, she's just clearly, like, so over it. She's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I hope she gets the help she needs or whatever. But, yeah, absolutely just bananas. I'm so upset my girlfriend didn't watch with me because she would have been, like, comedy. She would be like, oh, hell no, like, going crazy, like, commentating on what was happening. Or I'd be like, I knew it. And weird world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine, man. Yeah, Michaela watched it, and some of my friends who I had family dinner with watched it. Sounds nuts. I wish I watched it, but I know too much, and it's
it won't be the same.
Spoiled. Yeah, no. I do want to watch Adolescence though, which I heard was good. Which Michaela
what is that?
Watch. It's like the only thing I know about the show, because I specifically said don't tell me. She just told me it was really good. It's like this teenager or something is like accused of murder, and then it's a whole like that subplot. I just like that general genre of TV, and so I've just heard it's good. And I know the guy who was the lead actor just won an Emmy, so it was like very like praised. What do I want to rat list? So I'll rat list the place down the street from me. It's like a bar, but it's like a restaurant. It's too good. It's too good. It's a problem. It's gonna be a problem. I know it's gonna be a problem. Oh man, we went there last night for family dinner too. It's the second time I went there. I went there with my dad and Michaela a couple weeks ago or last week. I told you, did I tell you about this place? They got a gumbo on the menu that was on Beat Bobby Flay. Are you familiar with the show? Do you know Bobby Flay?
I'm aware of what it is.
Food Network guy.
I've never watched it.
So Beat Bobby Flay is basically they bring in a bunch of like, restaurant owners or head chefs from around the country, and the goal is you cook your best signature dish. Bobby Flay will make his own version. So since this was a gumbo, Bobby Flay made his best gumbo, and you give it to a panel of 3 Food Network judges. They blind taste test it and see if you could beat Bobby Flay. And this dude beat Bobby Flay. Like his shit was better than the Food Network, like very famous, highly renowned chef guy. And let me tell you, Sam, I know why it beat Bobby Flay. That shit was fucking good. I also had a brisket melt the other day when I was there. Yesterday I had shrimp and grits with like Parmesan grits and tomato. It's a problem. It's gonna be an issue. All I want to do right now is order it and pick it up, and fuck, I might. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be bad. I know it's going to be bad. I'm not gonna actually order it, but it's gonna put me in a bind.
I feel like if I owned like a restaurant and I had like a specialty like that, I would not want to go. I mean, you want the recognition. Like, I guess it's free ad pretty much to go on.
Yeah.
But like, if Bobby Flay beats you, like, it's gotta suck. Like, that's
Probably,
your thing.
but it's also Bobby.
He came in
Flay.
your
Like,
house
he's
and
also
snatched your chain.
He's sick. I mean, he is Bobby Flay for a reason. He has a whole fucking show about beating people for a reason.
Is that his name? Like, is that his actual name?
Bobby Flay? I don't know. Bobby Flay. His real name is Robert William Flay. So yes, it is his real
Robert
name.
Williams. Shout out to him.
Shout out. Bobby Flay.
Got to rat list the lady. So are you you're probably gonna say yes. Are you a dishwasher person? Have we talked about this?
I use the dishwasher, yes.
So I'm typically not a dishwasher person. I'm only a
Crazy.
dishwasher person if like we make like a big meal. Like
Michaela's not a dishwasher person. It's insane. I don't get it.
There's many things to be washed, sure. But like if you and I had a meal, we had plates, glasses, maybe silverware. I'm washing it in the sink. Plain and simple.
Why?
To wash, it is so easy to wash a plate. It is.
Are you a one plate
white.
household? Do you have
No.
2 plates and that's it?
No.
Then why don't you just put it in the dishwasher?
Because I just want to clean. I basically operate as I will say, like, I basically operate like that. Like, I have my dish rack after I've washed my dishes, and I basically use that. Like, everything, like, okay, I make myself breakfast today, right? I use the frying pan to make my eggs. I wash
frying
it
pan's
every day.
different. I wash the frying pan because it doesn't fit in the dishwasher. Like big things I will wash.
Well,
but,
it's like a
plates
little
and
one.
forks and stuff.
It's not like little, but like it's like, I don't know. It's not massive.
Sure.
So anyways, frying pan. She makes breakfast Monday because she was home. She was like, I'm going to make breakfast. Cool. Great. Thank you. She's like, I know you use this every day. I'm going to put it in the dishwasher and I'm going to run the dishwasher. And wouldn't you know it, Jack? I got back from my run yesterday. And much to my dismay,
yeah,
it was not clean.
So that is different. If it is something that you don't have multiple of, then you should wash it. Like I will wash pans because one, it doesn't fit in the dishwasher, but we also only have like 3 pans. So if my roommate wants to make something, he's going to need to use the same pan, right? We have multiple cutting boards. So I'll put the cutting board in the dishwasher because there's ample cutting boards for people to use. We have multiple forks, multiple plates, multiple bowls. So I will put them in the dishwasher because we will never run out of having those. If it is a pan or it is a, something that we know we're going to need, you wash it. If it is the air fryer container, you wash it. You know what I'm saying? Like there is difference. There's a difference.
You gotta get one of those, like, you just get a little like sheets for the.
I don't watch the air fryer stuff. I just put tinfoil in there and cook my stuff that way. But for the people, oh, it doesn't get underneath. Like, grow up. Like, just flip it. Come on.
Yeah, who doesn't flip? But anyways, I texted her. I was like, no more putting important things in the dishwasher. Because she talked to me in the morning and was like, I know you need this. I'm going to run the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in the day, she was like, oh, I haven't run the dishwasher yet. I'm going to do it before I go to bed. Didn't do it. And then I was talking to her about this yesterday. And what did she say to me? I had even put the soap in there. I just didn't hit start.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
What a morning it was.
That's brutal. What else do I got? I don't know what else I've got. That might be it for me. You know what I tried today that I thought was great? Have you ever heard of matcha?
Yeah. It looks way better than it probably tastes.
Pretty good. I had one this morning. I got it. It was like a strawberry matcha. I walked to the bus stop with Michaela because she wanted to work today because she stayed here. So I was like, oh, I'll go away with you for the bus, and then I'll just go get my coffee and I'll be like, whatever. Get me up out of bed. It's a good start to my day. Get up. I go to Cafe Nero. There's one like across the street from me. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get it was like a strawberry matcha Cafe Nero. It was this drink. Without like the milk. The milk was like mixed in, so it looked a little bit different. But it was this. I'll show you. I'm sharing my screen. Here you go. This is what it looked like. I think you can see it without Matt taking off, but this is what I drank.
Okay.
Right? I get it.
I bet that's
was
pretty good. I bet the strawberry
man.
does a lot of heavy lifting.
Strawberry didn't do that much heavy lifting. I had to mix it in. It was still good. It was yum. It was yummy. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire thing. I will say the Ratless though, this was my cup. This was the ice.
That's what they do to you. Starbucks does it
like,
too. Starbucks loves it.
Let's be serious. Let's be fucking serious. That
You know what the
pissed me
best
off
part
a little bit.
of Starbucks is if you ask them for less ice, you still get the same amount.
I know.
And
And the worst part is, not only do you get not enough drink, like that's enough to annoy you. It's also hard to fucking drink it because the ice is just ramming up against your mouth in the cover every time. I'm a straw man
through and through.
However, it was good. Oh yeah, no, I
even if it's the sippy cup top.
Yeah, if this is the lid,
bitch.
I'll just drink.
Hell, can't do it.
Yeah, I just drink usually.
Ratless is my like home friends. So part of my more like my frying pan, my absence of a frying pan was preceded by before I went running yesterday. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I hadn't seen my friends in a while. I was like, you're probably gonna make fun of me for this too. But I texted them. I said, we should get Secret Santa planned. We should draw the names. Is it a little early for it? Maybe. But if you know who you have to get a gift for, it doesn't hurt to know early in case you just happen to see something. Like, I don't know. It just makes it easier.
Sure.
Or if you have to order something custom, like, it just makes it easier. That was my thought.
Yeah, that's a couple months. Yeah, for sure.
So I had I put it in there, and somebody goes, we should plan Friendsgiving first. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, we should try.
That actually makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, like, that's a good point. And then somebody else, I got into a significant argument with one of my friends recently. Like, where like if it was not somebody I was really close with, I would not be friends with them anymore. That's how significant it was.
Oh,
yes.
Yikes.
I can tell you after. I don't really want to air it.
Sure. That's fine.
But this person replies, I laid it out for him too. I was like, if it was not you, like, I probably would be all set. Like, the first interaction I've had with them since then was them ridiculing me for saying we should get this going. And I snapped on the chat. My group of friends is not great at making plans. Like, they just are not. And I was like, I forgot how inept this group is. Like, I was flipping. I was like, this different person, but I was like, this person thought that like he invented the light bulb by like realizing he could plan ahead, so he wasn't always like tied into what his girlfriend was doing with her friends when the time came. Like, and then one of our other friends comes in. He's like, yeah, I'm actually starting PA school in January. So if we don't do this in December, I won't be able to do it. And I was like, oh, sorry, man. Like, they don't want to plan yet. But wouldn't you believe it, Jack? We're getting the ball rolling. Polls have been made for which dates work best.
Let's go. You did it.
We can all do the hashtag thank you, Sam. Hashtag Sam was right. Because it seems like trying to plan this ahead may have been the best practice. But yeah, I was fucking mad as hell. I was on my run and I saw the ridicule starting to come in on my phone. I was so pissed. Jesus I was like, Christ. I try and do a nice thing and get the ball rolling. This is what I get.
Yikes. Yikes. Man, that's all I got. That's good.
All right. We can wrap it there.
We can wrap there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that. Sam, take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling. A couple weeks away from training camp. You guys can drop the hashtag Sam was right. Hashtag thank you, Sam, if you made it this far. You won't regret it. You can find us here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple as well. All pods and recaps are there for you. So if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do the show. Big shout out to Philip, one of the OGs on the channel. Shout out to him. Be like Philip, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.